GM friends, and welcome to the future of gaming. This was supposed to be a live recording of the community call that we had on the 6th of July, but I made a big mistake. The biggest mistake you can make when you're recording something, and that is that I did not press the recording button. So this is me doing the same presentation as I did in the beginning, and unfortunately we also won't have the Q&A that we had at the end. We had about 15-20 people there and a good conversation. But yes, we still wanted to get this out there. We know that some people wanted to be there but couldn't make it. So this is me going through the presentation again. So I'm doing this with video. There's a presentation I'm going through. I will link that presentation in the description if you are listening on Spotify or on any other podcast player. So, future of gaming, first community call. What's the plan? What are we going to talk about? So, first, talk about what the FOGDAO is, who started this, what the plan is, what are we going to do, how you could get involved as a community member or potentially a future community member. Now, in the short term, what we could use your help with very specifically, and then we had our Q&A, which unfortunately right now we cannot do. So, what the hell is the FOGDAO? FOGDAO started with the idea that, or the realization that people are going to spend more and more of their time in virtual worlds moving forward. And there are different futures out there. These virtual worlds that we're going to spend our time in can be, very good or very bad. And we want to do our parts, whatever we can, to make the games of the future, these virtual worlds, amazing. There's a real opportunity there, and we want to do everything we can to make that work. And so we want to bring together a group of people from diverse backgrounds with diverse jobs, responsibilities, insights, and share knowledge between each other and with the world. And so initially we are looking to explore and experiment with new technologies, game designs, and business models that can then be used to make amazing games. And analyze different technologies and how they're applied to certain games, and get a good grasp of these new technologies. Because right now, if you look at the blockchain gaming space, there's a lot of experimentation going on, but it's still so nascent. It essentially only exploded last year with Axie, and there's still a ton of lessons to be learned. Because half a year ago we thought that we need a dual token model like Axie did, but today it's not even a sure thing anymore. So there's still lots to learn, lots to understand, and that's why we're doing this. One of our core foundations, and this is one of the problems that Web3 broadly has, is that because you suddenly can invest in a technology, there's a ton of speculation going on. And so we want to stay away from that. We want to stay away from too much price talk when it's not related to game design. I think token prices are relevant to game developers and building good games, because you need to be mindful that whatever you're building will have a price tag on it if there's a public token. But the goal of this is not to invest and make money. And so we want to avoid people that are focused on that. And we also want to avoid free riders, right? The DAO will add value to the world, and we can go into that a bit later. And that's why we're going to be mindful of who we take as core member in the DAO. And so if you have applied in the past and you haven't been added as a member in our Discord yet, then we might have overlooked your application, or we thought we weren't convinced by it. And so, you can, pro tip, you can do an infinite amount of requests of applications. So try to convince us. Now, how we're going to do that? So we're going to experiment, research, and learn together. We have a lot of people that are working on different games, on infrastructure, on guilds, and we're going to share best practices that we have. We're going to share knowledge. We're going to do research together. We're going to write content together. We're going to talk about ideas, concepts, games. We're going to interview people. And so initially, most of what we're going to be doing as FOGDAO is going to be content based, but that could evolve, and we can go into that a bit later. But first, who are the nerds that actually started this? We have 4 people for now. We have myself and Philip. We are investors. I'm an investor in Web3 gaming at Bitcraft, and Philip works at Convoy. And yeah, so we have one of the advantages is we get to see a lot of teams, a lot of pitches, and I found that very useful in learning what's going on and what new experiments are being done. Because as we said, this is still a very nascent space, and I don't think we have figured it out at all. So I recommend anyone to try new things. And then we have Devin. He is a games consultant, works with a lot of games, like at a very more deep level, more applied level. He's actually doing stuff. We're just, I guess talking and thinking about it. So, his insights are fantastic. And then we have Jasper, who's a bit more in the background, but he is actually building stuff. So he's our developer, he's our CTO, and he also worked on his own game for a bit. Very passionate about gaming, and a great guy. And then finally, we would love to grow our core team. If you want to take a significant role, help out, feel free to reach out to us. We are always looking for motivated people. That is the most important. Even if you're new to the space, even if you don't necessarily even have a job in the space, if you're willing to spend time to learn and work on this together and add value, then feel free to reach out, and we'd love to talk to you and see if we can do something together. All right, so what's the plan? Initially, what we want to do is we want to establish FOGDAO as a thought and opinion leader in the Web3 gaming space. We want to do very constructive, open-minded content, and we want to be open-minded in both directions, right? There's a lot of criticism from the gaming space for what blockchain does, and we have to be mindful of that. So we want to avoid the crypto bro, blockchain will solve everything, and just think about, okay, how can these new technologies actually help us make better games? I think that's the core of what we want to do in this first stage. And obviously avoid speculation, because we believe that speculation, the fact that you can now invest early in games, leads to a lot of the problems that we see today, which in its essence boil down that 90% of the Web3 gamers today are not really gamers. They're either speculators or earners. And one of the things that keeps me busy or up at night is thinking about how to solve that. And so we want to establish ourselves as a thought leader and grow the group with motivated individuals that are willing to, help us with that, willing to add value and move the space as a whole forward. Then, our plan is to build this out as a platform. And, for anyone of the community, if you have thoughts, if you have ideas, if you want to do a game breakdown, we want to offer you a platform to put that out there. We want to offer you feedback on the content you create and make sure it's as best as possible and it achieves our common mission, which is bringing the games industry forward. We also plan to experiment with NFTs, soulbound tokens, fungible tokens, all of that fun and cool stuff. There will likely be a FOGDAO token in the future, and I have a slide dedicated to that. And then in the distant future, I can see us evolve into a content platform where, we have different types of contents, maybe different podcast series on certain things. We have blogs, opinion pieces, we have game breakdowns, we have how-tos and all of that stuff. And then in the distant future, I could see us go towards consulting, where we help new projects, maybe existing companies, with their Web3 gaming strategy, helping them how to think around token economies, etc. And there's also worlds where we, take small positions within games, hold their tokens as a DAO, something like that. But I want to avoid too much speculation around what we do. I think you should not see FOGDAO token if it ever emerges as an investment. Our goal is more as a foundation than as a for-profit. But how would this FOGDAO ecosystem look like? Essentially, I've been in the podcasting space. I've been creating content for more than 2 years now, for a while. And the way it works is you have people that add value. These are people, hosts, editors, note takers, writers, designers. They add value to the content that you create. And then you have people that receive value, and those are advertisers, people that want to have sponsored episodes, people that pay for the content. And we believe that we can build a very sensible ecosystem around that. And so there would be tokens. Everyone that adds value to whatever the platform, the ecosystem that's being created, would receive tokens, get paid in tokens for the value that they add. And then if someone wants to use the platform for their own benefits, and these could be advertisers, these could be game devs that want to, sponsor a game breakdown of their game, or they want to do a sponsored deep dive, a highlight podcast or something. They would also need to buy the tokens, and investors, if they want to have some research done for them alone, for example. These are all examples, right? This is definitely not how we think exactly it will look like exactly. So the idea is, if you add value, then you receive tokens, and if you want to consume value, if you want to use the platform, then you need to buy tokens and pay the tokens to the treasury. And so that's very simply the way we see this work. And so if you want to be part of this, either you can add value and you will receive tokens when we launch it, or you can also buy tokens and consume some of the value that we try to create. All right, so how precisely can you get involved? And we're currently still pretty small and building our brand out there. But we'd love to get you on board and have you add value. So feel free to, if you haven't already, join us, send in an application. If you have any ideas or suggestions about what we can do to make our vision and our goals come true, feel free to share that with us. Engage in the discussions. There's some very lively discussions going on in the Discord. If you have people that that would be valuable, that would enjoy being part of us and will be able to add value, then feel free to refer them. We are currently working on setting up the blog, and we're still figuring stuff out. And if you want to figure stuff out with us, if you want to write things, if you want to have a platform where you can publish thoughts that you have, ideas that you have, feel free to contact us. Phil is in charge of that, so you can ping him directly, or you can just put it in a general chat, and then we can help you make the best content out there, and all achieve our goals together. Same on the podcast side. So that's I'm the one leading that for now. If you wanna host a show, if you wanna help out on that end, feel free to let us know. We have a pretty decent network together, and so I feel that we can get a lot of interesting people on the podcast if we wanted to. So if you have some suggestions there, let us know. And then if you're a developer, Jasper is currently working mostly on the backend stuff, but I'm sure that he could use help. I think there's very interesting ideas and concepts to be developed on the blockchain side there, and we can go into that later, but always looking for smart people that can help out there. And then if you like what you can do or what you want to add value with is not on this list, just ping. We're very open, very responsive. We'd love to hear from you. On the short term, we are looking for a few people, and so these could be one person that does all, obviously, but these could be different people as well. We are looking for help on the operational side, the people that can take a responsibility on them for example, making sure that after we record, that the podcast goes live on all social media channels, on all platforms, etc. And as a part of that, we are also looking for someone that can help with the social media support. We're doing that ourselves for now, and if you have any experience with that, honestly, it doesn't take that much time, and want to help out, let us know. We're looking for someone that can help with podcast editing. It doesn't take that much work, but it would be great if we have one person that we can look at that can help with that. And then we're also, as you might have seen in this video specifically, there's no intro song or video, like we drop in cold, which is fine, but I think like a nice video and intro song would be good and nice for our listeners and viewers. So if you want to help with any of these, as we said, as you add value right now, if we ever launch a token, you will already receive some from the work you do now, so it will be retroactive. So if you want to get involved and you can help out with these, feel free to ping us. We'd love your help. That was it. A short summary. We had Q&A. We had some discussions about the first blog posts that we're doing. A bit of feedback from other very Web3 native communities in the game space. The Grux layer, there were some people who were talking about how to approach certain things and what potentially we could do together. So we will likely do these in like a bi-weekly, maybe a monthly schedule, and with these I mean these community calls, so we can have an open discussion about what we're doing and where we're going and how people can get involved. And finally, if by any chance you are in Brighton in the week of, let me see, so this is next week, so this is going to be the week of the 11th of July. On Tuesday, so the 12th of July, we're doing a FOGDAO meetup in Brighton. There's Develop going on there. That's a gaming-focused conference. There's going to be a bit of blockchain stuff going on there, and so we're going to meet up and hang out for dinner there. So if you want to join, let us know. Ping me in the Discord, or you can ping me personally. You can reach me as well. I'm on Twitter, Nico Vereecke, I'm in the Discord as well. So I think that was it. That was very fun talking to myself. So next week we'll be back with the regular blockchain gaming roll-ups. It was a silent week this week. Let's hope some exciting stuff happens in the next, and we'll have 2 weeks worth of news to cover, and so we can choose the most exciting parts. All right, peace out, and let's speak to each other next time.